You open your inbox and see a follow-up email from a meeting called Leadership Roundtable. 3 names from your team were on that email. Yours was not. You just didn't know this conversation was happening. Maybe you felt that before. You work hard, stay respectful, avoid trouble, and still others move ahead faster. You start wondering what's missing. Sometimes the issue isn't your qualifications or your work ethic. Sometimes the issue is that you are following the rules you were taught, while the workplace is running on a hidden set of rules nobody explained to you. And many immigrant professionals learn those rules sometimes a little too late. Hi, I am Marian, and on this channel I share lessons from my journey and from my book, Breaking Through, the Immigrants Handbook for Thriving in the American Workplace, to help immigrant professionals navigate the American workplace with clarity, confidence, and strategy. And today we are talking about the hidden rules immigrant professionals often learn too late at work. What to ask your manager, how to advocate for yourself with wisdom, and why your silence may be sending messages you never intended. Why does this matter? This is about awareness. Many of us come to America, come to the workplace with beautiful values. Work hard, respect authority, be grateful, stay humble. Those values are good, but a good value used without workplace wisdom can still hold you back. So let's talk about just three hidden rules that can help you navigate with more clarity and strategy. So hidden rule number 1. Your manager is not automatically your career planner. Your manager is not automatically your career planner. Many of us assume that if we do excellent work, our manager will guide us to the next level. Some do, but many are focused on deadlines, team goals, and immediate priorities, not your long-term growth. They may appreciate you and depend on you, but that doesn't mean they are thinking about your next step. This is where many of us get stuck. We wait to be invited. We wait to be encouraged. We wait for someone to say, you should apply. But waiting can be misunderstood, and waiting can delay you. You think you are being impatient. No, they think you are being comfortable. They think you are comfortable. You think you are being humble. They think you are not interested. You think you shouldn't bother them. They assume you don't have bigger goals. It's possible to be busy and still be drifting. So ask yourself, if your manager asked, what do you want next? Would you have an answer? Not a perfect plan, just direction. Because if you don't shape the conversation, people will keep assigning you what they need now. Being useful is not the same as being developed. So here is a practical takeaway. You can say, I'd like to grow here. What skills should I strengthen for the next level? This is having a conversation with your manager. Can you talk about my development goals for the next 6 months? I'm interested in more responsibility. What would make me a stronger candidate? That is career ownership. Hidden rule number 2. Gratitude should not silence your self-advocacy. Gratitude is part of many immigrant stories, the sacrifices, the uncertainty, the pressure. So when an opportunity comes, we are thankful, we are grateful, we have a job, and we should be. Gratitude is good, it's excellent, but gratitude should not make you silent. When gratitude stops you from asking questions or seeking clarity, it becomes a problem. Many immigrants fear being seen as difficult or ungrateful, but here is the workplace reality. Some people will take your silence as satisfaction. If you never communicate what you need, people may never not know there's a conversation. They never know what you need. They never not know that there's a conversation you need to have. And many of us dismiss our own wins. It was nothing. I was just helping. I was just doing my job. But what you call just doing my job is often evidence of leadership. So here's a practical takeaway. You can say, I am grateful to be here and I also want to grow. I appreciate the opportunity. I'd like clarity on how my responsibilities are evaluated. Thank you. You can also say, thank you for the trust. I want to make sure my role reflects the work I'm carrying. That's not entitlement. That's clarity. So let's go to hidden rule number 3. Hidden rule number 3, silence is interpreted even when you mean nothing by it. In many cultures, silence could mean respect. You listen, you observe, and speak only when necessary. But in many workplaces, silence is interpreted differently. You may be silent because you are thinking. They may think you are disengaged. You may be silent because you are respectful. They may think you lack confidence. You may be silent because you are processing. They may think you are not ready. People can't read your intention. They respond to what they see and hear. And for many of us, silence feels safer because we are thinking about our accent, our wording, overthinking, our tone, all at once. But safe isn't always strategic. Sometimes you need to let people hear your thinking. Not perfectly, not loudly, just clearly enough to show you're engaged. So here's a practical takeaway. You don't need to dominate the room, just show presence. You can say, to clarify, are we saying the priority is this? One thing to consider is the timeline. I agree with that point, and I will add, or I'd like to add, I need more time to think, but my initial thought is, or follow up after the meeting with, I was thinking more about our discussion, wanted to share one thought. These small signals help people see your thinking, because people cannot value the thinking they have never heard or they never hear. You need to make your thinking visible. Let's bring it all together. Your manager is not automatically your career planner. Initiate growth conversations. Your manager is not automatically your career planner. Please initiate growth conversations. Gratitude should not silence your self-advocacy. You can be thankful and still be clear. Silence is interpreted, so communicate your presence. None of this requires you to become someone else. It requires wisdom. Growth takes more than hard work. It takes understanding the room and being intentional and showing up. It's about you showing up. So this week, choose one hidden rule to practice. Ask your manager one clear question. Ask your manager one career question. Advocate for clarity around your role. Speak once in a meeting instead of saying silent. Not everything at once, just one step. Because the goal is not to become louder, it is to become clearer. It is to be intentional. Not someone else, but a more confident, strategic version of yourself, of who you already are. A more strategic version of who you already are. This is it. If this message helps you, like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more conversations on confidence, visibility, and thriving in the workplace. And if you have already subscribed, thank you. You deserve to grow. You matter. You deserve to grow. You deserve to thrive. And I am cheering you on.